All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the Frantic Talks podcast, episode 78. I am your host, Frantic. With me, as always, is my lovely co-host,
Grunt. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. We are here to talk about gaming.
And junk.
All right, so we got a interesting episode for you today. Nothing too crazy to talk about besides how our weeks went and some news articles. We'll get to that here in a minute. First, let's start this off like we always like to and mention where you can find us. It is important so you can, continue the conversation with us and give us your opinions on the things we discuss. So, the easiest way to find us is head over to Twitter. I am at FranticJ3. He is at Onyx Spartan, ONYX Spartan, all one word. And we are at Frantic_Talks. That is the official Frantic Talks Twitter account. Follow that, get updates on our articles, podcasts, whenever we go live, all that fun stuff. Also, you can head on over to twitch.tv/Frantic Talks, all one word. That is where you'll find us live every Saturday, usually, at 3 p.m. Eastern, usually. Forgot to mention our special podcast ghost at FreakShow187. You can tweet at him to get puns and puntify anything you want. He also likes wrestling. Talk to him about that. You can also head over to youtube.com and search up Frantic Talks, all one word, just in case you miss us going live or you don't want to wait till Monday to get your audio version of the podcast, because you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and you will get the video form, the recorded version of when we go live a couple days early. It's our early access, as we like to call it. You can also head over to facebook.com/Frantic Talks, all one word. Hit the like button like 135 others have. I don't know the number off the top of my head.
I do believe so. It's been a little bit since I've actually paid attention to that number, but
yeah, it's been
last I had looked at it. That's what it was.
On and off my radar for sure. Also, if you head over to FranticTalks.com, that is the mothership. That is where you can find all that information I just said, all in the footer, along with our Xbox DVR articles, our podcast links to all the categories, a link to magic.frantictalks.com where we talk about magic. All that great stuff is there. We also have a Discord channel, which should be pinned to the Twitter account if you're interested in joining our Discord chat that we have. And otherwise, I think that's everything. But, if you can't seem to find us, if something falls out of line, you can't figure it out, can't find the website, whatever it is, there's one way you can always find us. 110 times out of 10, Grunt, what can they do?
Direct themselves to the nearest search engine and just search Frantic Talks. You'll find us.
We guarantee it. I'm going to make sure I mention everything, because I went through that really quick. But yeah, I mentioned everything. Wow, that's impressive. I did that really fast. That was like a minute. I'm going to try and do that from now on so we don't spend 5 minutes talking about Twitter. All right.
It only happens when we get off on tangents, which we do a lot on this podcast.
Yeah, that's very true. All right, so quick
it's
couple
like,
of... what?
It's like, you know what? We're getting into it now. I'm just going to stop.
We're going to start tangenting for the next 20 minutes. That's actually what's about to happen, but it's going to be more interesting than random nonsense. Oh, jeez. All right, so we like to start this podcast off by mentioning one very specific thing, and that is how I just hovered over the Skype side of my window, and it popped up, and now Grunt's head has a line. Oh, it's gone. All right, so we normally start this podcast off by asking that was actually about where you started. One simple question, that is, Grunt, how was your past 2 weeks? Because we weren't live last week. We'll get there.
Well, I wasn't captured by anyone, so that's a plus. Or capturing people.
Okay.
Reference to a few tweets I sent out from the Frantic Talks Twitter account last week.
Yes, if you follow our Twitter account, you will see why we didn't go live last week, and it was much more creative than, we didn't go live.
Yes. I'm going to try to do that from now on.
I like that idea.
To start with, any typos you see in any tweets from that account, it's probably my fault. Like yesterday, how I tweeted, we'll be back, and then actually no, it was about our Discord channel. If you haven't checked out our Discord server, check it out. And I totally used have instead of haven't, so whoops.
Whoops, indeed. It was really funny because I didn't notice it. I retweeted it, and then you said, all those typos are on me, and then I looked at it and got a good laugh out of it.
Yeah. I accept full responsibility for any typos.
As you should.
See. But my past couple weeks have been fairly quiet. I've been playing a lot of my guitar lately, working on learning a few things on it. Games have been sparse through that time. Some Destiny here and there. Skyrim. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh, Bioshock Infinite, because I'm starting to play through that again for a certain secret project.
Ooh, that sounds super secret and awesome at the same time.
super secret. Yes, hoping to maybe make some progress on said project next week.
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
Yes. Let's see what else played. Other games that I have played has been a bunch of Magic. I've been playing that with the Grunt Dad a lot the past couple of weeks. That's really fun. Made some tweaks to some of my decks that I have.
Yeah.
Yes, had a really interesting game using the new 2017 Commander decks that came out just last night, as a matter of fact, or yesterday rather.
Oh, so you got to play with them.
Yes, I'm going to play with them again tonight as well, Saturday.
I assume you played the dragon one.
Of course. What else? I was sitting there looking at them, and I'm like, do I want to play the dragon one or the vampire or the cat? And it's like, I couldn't play as the wizards.
Oh.
So it's like, which one do I use? You know what, dragon? Boom.
So someone laid claim to the wizard deck is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, someone did. So yeah, that was interesting. I was able. It's a lot similar to my Scion of the Ur-Dragon deck I built in terms of basically how it works.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cards that let you ramp up your mana. There was one point where I had like 10 turns, and that was literally all I was drawing was land. So either that's
rough.
Yeah. But it was quite interesting because when I was able to get creatures out there, I would attack, and I was just playing against Grunt Dad last night. So when I would attack, he would play a card in the Wizards deck. I don't remember the exact name of it, but it would basically allow you to destroy like a target attacking creatures, or I got Chaos Warped a couple times.
Yeah, that'll happen.
That was rough. And by the time all that happened, it's like, well, I have no creatures here, so this is interesting. But I was able to get the main commander that they have for that dragon set, the Ur-Dragon.
Yes.
Nice big, like 8 cost creature, 7 or 8 mana costing creature, but he's a huge 10/10, so it's
worth the investment.
And it's like, well, you know what? Since I have all this mana, I'll play him. No, get him out there. I do get him equipped with Lightning Greaves at one point, so he has Shroud and Haste.
Yep, he can't be the target.
Well, unfortunately, Lightning Greaves can be the target. That happens.
Yes, that's how you beat that.
But I was able to get some damage in with him once, and that was just pretty much like 3 or 4 turns after that. Everything I got destroyed as I was attacking. It's like, this is not fair.
Yeah, I can imagine that would be a little rough.
Still won the game, technically, but it went on a lot longer than what it actually had to.
I understand that. Been in that situation before.
Yeah. So I like the way those decks are so far. I played, just the 2 technically so far, so curious to see how the others do and how they'll do with more people playing.
For what I've been seeing in the subreddits, a lot of people are talking about it. They're all pretty well balanced, and certain ones have lower ceilings in terms of if you wanted to upgrade or anything like that. Right. Everyone was scared the vampire one was going to be really good, just straight out of the box, because it was fast and had good payoff cards essentially. But overall, it's seeming like that's not necessarily the case. Also, people were worried that the dragon's what was going to be entirely useless, but that also does not seem to be the case.
No, I definitely do not think so. And unless it was just the way I had the cards shuffle and the way I was drawing last night, it seemed like there's a lot of ramping in it. A little too much for me because, I want those creatures. If I have enough mana to pay for something, I need the creatures to use it,
Yeah, and the ramping is all about being able to get all the colors you need.
Right, and I was having plenty of that. That's why I was able to cast the Ur-Dragon like 3 times last night.
Right.
So by the time, it was like 13 cost creature by the time I came around to the final turn. It's like, good lord.
Yeah, that'll be a little rough for sure. But it sounds like they were a lot of fun, which is a good sign.
Oh yes, it definitely was. So, like I said, I'm anxious to try them out in a much larger pool of people playing. So
yep, that is our plan for this upcoming Friday. We have at least 4 people that will be playing 1 deck each. So
Oh, nice.
We'll get to do that in a multiplayer format. And actually, 2 of us bought all 4, so we can basically say who's got what, who needs what, and we can all play pretty much any deck we want.
Oh, that's
So it'll
nice.
also be nice. Yep. So I'm excited to get them. Because honestly, when I was looking to buy them, I could not decide which one I wanted. So it was just... I was kind of like you. I'm like, do I want cats? Do I want dragons? The ones that I was like really thinking I was going to get was dragons. And then my good friend Luke, who also writes on the Magic side of the website and who I've played Magic with for years now, he said, I'm buying all of them because this will be probably the only time certain cards in them are printed, and I'm just getting my copies now so they don't come back to bite me in the butt later when they're $30 a piece or something stupid. And I said, that's a pretty good reason to just pull the trigger on all of them, so I did.
Right. That's actually really good idea.
Yeah, and because like there are a lot of cards in each deck that I'm like, that'd be fun to build around, but I just don't know if I want that whole deck for this one card. And then when he mentioned, I was like, yeah, I'll probably buy them all and then either strip them or try to upgrade them to do something a little different than what they're doing. Because the strategies of each of them I'm kind of meh about. So if you aren't familiar, the cat deck is what's called Voltron. It's where you assemble a bunch of equipment onto one creature and it gets crazy. The dragon deck is a ramp deck like Grunt was saying, so it doesn't have emphasis on creatures as much as it does getting the lands to play those creatures. The wizard's deck is a weird one. It's a very reactionary tribal deck that tries to be smart. And the vampire one, I kind of already said, it's this mid-range one that's kind of fast but can run out of gas. And I already have a deck that does that, and I have my decks none of this really fit my style, so I wasn't like too clamoring for any of these. Every year there's always been one where I'm like, I definitely want that one. Last year was the Atraxa one, and the year before that I wanted the Azuri one, but I didn't end up buying it until I never bought it. I bought the black-white one because I needed to fill the void. The Planeswalker year, I don't think I bought one, and you just keep going back. It was like certain ones fit my idea, and then others I don't know. So this year it was just like, yeah, I'm just going to grab them all and take the pieces I want if I need to and do something cool with them. Maybe make some big tribal deck out of all 5 or out of all 4 and be stupid, but who knows what'll happen.
I want to see that happen.
It would be terrible because it's just like it's very all about playing the very specific types, and if you're getting a commander that says play dragon spells and you play wizards, it's like, well, you're just wasting your card slot.
You're kind of defeating the purpose of a tribal deck, yeah, but
yeah,
it's like boom.
But there was.
Why can't we have cat dragons?
Wait, we do have a cat dragon. There was a deck list I saw that I got really excited about. It was this wolf deck. It was a teamer deck, so it's red, blue, green, and it uses some commander that's kind of meh when it comes to being a commander in a multiplayer format. But the deck list was really cool, and with all these new tribal cards that encourage you playing just any tribe, like you name a tribe when they come into play, so you don't have to fit a very specific mold. I might try and build some sort of tribal or reevaluate one of my current tribals, like tribal tree folk, which I kind of have but kind of don't. I don't know. Basically, this will make me want to build something, is why I bought all of them. So.
Oh, right. Just a couple of weeks ago, I started putting the pieces together for my Omnath deck.
Yes.
And by pieces, I mean picked up 2 cards for it. So
hey, that's a start regardless. I got half a deck sitting in the next room that I started not too long ago. And I bought like 1 or 2 pieces every now and then because it's not going to be a cheap build by any means.
Right.
So
yeah, that's pretty much how my past couple of weeks have been.
Nice.
Fairly uneventful, filled with magic and stringed instruments and other things.
Right.
I'm really looking forward to a couple weeks from now, though.
Why is that?
I don't know, something called Destiny 2 or something.
Oh yeah, that might be coming. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Anyways, that's how my week was. How about yours?
Well,
A couple weeks. Rather.
Yeah, so let's start with that. We didn't go live last Saturday, and we didn't have an archive cast because I was ill-prepared and completely forgot that we wouldn't be recording this past Saturday.
Shame on you.
Shame on me. I will take the full blame. That being said, we will not be going live next Saturday either, due to more schedule stuff. Summer's a busy time for everybody, and that's pretty much the case here. That being said, we are going to be recording an archive cast. Normally, we record right after one of these podcasts, but this is going to be a special episode where we're going to record, hopefully with a guest, and we're going to talk about something very near and dear to our hearts. I feel like anybody with half a brain can probably figure out what I mean by that, but we'll leave it up in the air for now. But it'll be released right at the right time. Speaking of what Grunt just mentioned, hint. Anyways,
No, come on now. If you're wanting them to guess, You're giving them like blanket clues, man. Come on.
Okay.
Obvious.
All right. So I gotta get cryptic about this.
Be cryptic. Be vague.
On the eve of a future Wednesday, but except the Monday before, we'll be releasing a pre-recorded episode with someone near and dear to us, talking about a topic so embezzled by a number that we often considered it not Okay, I'm done with this. So anyways, my week, the reason we didn't go live this past Saturday is because...
You were totally the watcher in the woods. Don't lie.
A friend of ours was like, hey, my family has this cabin in the woods, which is already a skeptical way to lead a conversation, and we go to it once a year and just kind of hang out, and it's like, oh, okay, glad you thought of us. So we decided to go, and because of how late the planning was, that's how I kind of forgot that I wouldn't be recording a podcast. We didn't accept like the week of or anything, but it was definitely the week before. We were like, yeah, sure, we'll go. So we ended up going out there. We were so far away, I literally didn't have signal, and it was a lot of fun. We did some fun stuff, played D&D while sitting on a lake, just made it up on the spot. I was a Warforged bard who sang death metal songs to encourage the group to do better. That's some pretty sweet songs.
Did you actually sing, though?
Oh, yeah. We're sitting on the lake, and they go, all right, Warforged bard, what are you doing? I was like, I'm singing a song to encourage us killing these guys. Okay, what are you singing? I'm like, death to them. I'm just doing this growl on the lake. Got a couple of good laughs. So.
Oh, thank you so much for doing that. That was...
Hey, you gotta go full character, man. Like, you really do.
You really do. You really do.
So that was
part of something that is very enjoyable in RPG games.
Absolutely, and I always feel like my friends kind of miss that, and they kind of just stay in their, they stay as themselves. Like how I talk right now, they're talking the same way essentially. However they normally talk, they don't really play the characters, and I'm sitting there like role playing my character as the DM, and I'm just like, come on, play along, guys. That's the whole point.
Yeah, it's a shame you don't have your long hair, because then you could have just headbanged and twirled your hair around like all the...
Oh, yeah, exactly. That would have been great. Just been like windmill headbanging.
Right.
The Saturday before that, we had the podcast, but afterwards I played some Magic, testing out some of my new decks. I told you, Grunt requested results, and I believe I sent them to him. I had some really fun, crazy plays, not gonna lie. I think my favorite play that I did... There's this card called Chasm Skulker, who's 1/1 for 3, but every time you draw a card, you put a counter on him, and then when he dies, you get these 1/1 squids with Island Walk equal to the number of counters. So I got him up to 9, destroyed everything on the field, and got these 9 guys, and then I forget what I did after that, but I essentially I played my commander and took like 3 extra turns and just nailed my opponent for 36 damage and ended up winning.
Oh my god.
It was really dumb. So the whole deck was built around drawing cards, and the point is, hi, by the way, hello to Brock in the chat. The whole deck idea was to draw cards and make everyone draw cards, and then they take damage for cards in hand. But I never drew any of the damage to cards in hand, so I had to find other ways to win. But I got to test out all my new decks. A couple of them were really bonkers. Others were like, oh, this could work. You just got to get the right cards, and overall, it was a fun night. And like I said, this Friday I'll hopefully be looking forward to some Commander 2017, and then you won't even hear about how that goes until the week after, Saturday after Destiny 2 comes out. Which, not gonna lie, we might do a really short podcast. So I don't know what just happened.
It's like boom, Destiny 2 podcast. Okay, we're done.
Yeah, basically. So. I want to say right now, that was the weirdest thing that's ever happened. We're literally recording, and then Grunt the screen died. I don't know how to describe it other than that. We were recording and my Skype just closed. But we're back up and you're there, and we're still on the call. I don't know what happened, but that was pretty interesting. So
what is even going on here?
Anyways.
You know what? It's those wascally wizards.
It really is. Now, the one thing I will say is that I cannot get the sidebar to go away. So it's like 3/4 Grunt. I don't know how to get it to go away. If anyone in the chat can help me out here. It's a little off screen, though. Let me see if I can see a button. Anyways, we're going to start talking about stuff you see on screen, besides weird windowed Grunt over here. Anyways. we had an article come out after our last podcast, and we didn't get to actually mention on the previous podcast because there wasn't a previous podcast. So Grunt released an article, and I'm going to let him do a quick backstory on that while I figure out what the hell just happened with my Skype.
Well, basically, while I'm being 3/4 of a person, apparently.
You are, and it's bad, and I don't know what's happening.
All right. Anywho, released an article, my usual weekly column, Grunt's Grumblings. My topic of discussion has been something I've been pushing really a lot lately on my own personal blog. And it's the fact that, when we play games, we often just rush through them to finish them as quickly as we can. What that reason might be, that plenty of them out there. You have a backlog of games. You only have so many time. So, like you only have so many hours that you can actually manage to play a game.
Right.
Because of time and work and junk. Maybe you just like running through the games, whatever. It's basically not my place to say this, because then I call myself a hypocrite for like our episode 76, where I say, it's not right to play. But the point of this article was for the fact that sometimes when you play, I feel like we should take and actually pay attention to the work that was put into the game.
Right.
Because as I've been, over the past few weeks, I've been working on my own RPG storyline. I'd like to overlay to like a D&D campaign or a short Dread session. And now I'm not the most creative person. I've said that many times before. So it's difficult in that aspect that I hit literal walls. Okay, figurative walls. I don't actually punch walls or anything.
I'd hope not.
It's difficult when you hit that wall, and it's just like, where do I go with this from here?
Yeah.
But doing that, it also made me realize that, yes, there are creative teams that help people build or push through that and that, bounce ideas off of them, whatever, so it doesn't happen as much in our games that we play. But there's a lot of work that gets put into stuff like that. Even the moss that was growing on a wall in some level somewhere. And we typically just run past it and we pay no attention to it. So I highly encourage people to take a minute and enjoy the game and the time that the developers and creators of it put into it. Because, yeah, credits exist, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. But it kind of sucks when you see people out there playing your game and they just run by it and it's like, oh, I spent 4 weeks trying to figure out how to get that button to work and that person just ignored it.
Yeah, exactly. So, right. And I did actually take a lot of your stuff to try and take it to heart, essentially, and examine some of the stuff and kind of just take it all in. And I definitely, because you wrote that article, and then I think later that night or the day after, I actually picked up Red Dead Redemption and played it again for a little bit. And I was just kind of like, man, that one random bush exists there because someone decided it exists there, and just kind of had your thoughts running through there.
Right. So, I understand people run through games for many reasons. It's not my place, like I said, to tell them, you're playing the game wrong. But it's just, whenever I notice I'm doing that myself, it's like, man, someone spent time creating that, trying to figure out how to perfectly place the moss, hashtag moss matters. I think that's referenced somewhere in the article somewhere.
It probably, I could probably go check it out real quick.
Continue. You could also just encourage him to go read it.
that too. Well, considering you gave most of the overview, I figured we were just nixing that. But either way. Yes.
But it's like, I feel like a jerk when I run past that. And the jerk store called. And they're all out of me. So.
That's also referenced, and it's great.
I think I'm probably most proud of this article for all the stupid little references I made through it.
Eventually, it's just going to become, our writing and our podcast are just going to become references. There's going to be no stories or anything to talk about. It's just
pretty much. But yeah, basically, I encourage you to take the time, even if it's like a tabletop RPG game that's created by your friends. I know you're working on a campaign.
Yes, steampunk one. So
Yeah, it'd be kind of bad if people were just like, "Yo, let's go to this fight over here. I don't care about that story. You spent what 4 hours making it? I don't care. Let's just go to the next fight."
it's interesting you say that because my friend that we actually went out into the cabin in the woods with, he writes stories and then tries to account for everything that they'll do or could do. So he writes he spends 3 or 4 hours making each branching little option. Kind of like how if you were playing a role-playing game, if you take option A, B, or C, or D, certain things will happen. Well, he does all that too, except they only ever take one route. Not the same route, of course, given, but it's like, he has A, B, C, D, they take B, next thing they do is E, F, G, H, he takes H, and they don't ever know what the other options were. So, I just say it's interesting because that's something you don't really think about, is how much effort was put into all the little details.
Right, and that's basically the whole point of the article that I was trying to make, is take notice of those details. You don't have to change the way you're playing the game, just take notice of it.
Yeah, exactly. All right,
now that I've gone on long enough for that.
Nah, you're good.
Pointless references and.
Nah, I don't think they're pointless. I will say that I cannot figure out what just happened with Skype. So you're going to be 3/4 of a screen followed by your name. Like the little sidebar is just going to stay on screen. There's no chats or anything, but it's just sitting there. So, anyways,
all right. So
we're going to talk about some articles. Yeah, 3/4 of it.
3/4 of this thing here.
3/4 of a grunt. I'm glad that you just have a grunt on standby.
For those that don't, it sits here on my desk, yes. For those that aren't watching the video, I just held up a small little Halo grunt action figure.
I'm glad that happened.
Yes. Anyways.
All right.
Tangent. Here we go again.
So hopefully we don't have to deal with Skype's nonsense, since Discord video chat is coming soon, which Brock mentioned, and I do remember seeing a headline about. So hopefully we don't have to deal with this nonsense Skype.
That'd be great, honestly.
We already use Discord for the audio, so that's why there's this big muted microphone under Grunt's chin right now, because I can't get that to go away, and I have to mute my mic when we go on Skype. So, oh, by the way, Grunt, there's a muted microphone underneath your chin the entire every episode.
I've seen it.
Okay. I wasn't sure. Okay, let's actually talk about something interesting that's not this nonsense. So I picked out this article, and I don't even think I actually sent it to Grunt, which is my bad.
Flying blind.
Oh, well, the headline is everything you need to know about the Warner Brothers' biggest DC announcements this week. A standalone Joker movie is just the beginning. So this is when I said nobody wants any of this when we first got on the call. That's what I was referencing. Yeah. So to put it this way, there's a Joker movie. There's Suicide Squad 2 in 2019 apparently, and a Harley Quinn spinoff. And what's interesting to me about all this, so let me start by saying, even though I'm wearing a Spider-Man shirt right now, I actually really enjoy DC. I'm always back and forth on who I like more at a certain point in time. Most of the DC animated crap is amazing, and all the Marvel movies are really good. There's good ones and bad ones, whatever. I'm more of the opinion that, just like we are on console wars, where it's the fans win, it's not about which one's better. And not too long ago, we had an article where we kind of criticized them because they were like, oh, DC likes big epic tales and Marvel likes relatable heroes, says the CEO of their animation team or whatever. And we're just like, yeah, no shit. They've said that for the past 50 fucking years. So,
that already. Duh.
Yeah. So this thing, besides the fact that all this stuff is coming out, what surprises me the most is I don't know if they're ever going to actually get it right. Marvel seems to be doing very well, and DC just wants to replicate the success. So much so that they've kind of fast-tracked everything to be lackluster, it feels like. The Suicide Squad movie was terrible. I wanted it to be good, but it was terrible because they reshot everything, because the original trailer they paid people to make made it seem like it was going to be this fun romp-around thing when it was actually going to be a more serious story. So they had to go shoot stuff to try and make it funny, and it ended up not being funny and ruining the movie. So
That's not good.
And as polarizing as the new Joker is, they're going to make a movie all about him. Hopefully he does very well and it makes it really interesting. I hope, because I have nothing personal against this Joker. He seemed to be pretty good. He's not a favorite of mine since I only got to see 30 minutes of him, but it could be good. But the Harley Quinn, I could not buy into the Harley Quinn character, and they're going to make a whole movie about her. And I don't know. It just seems like they're doing a lot of unnecessary stuff to something that wasn't even successful. Kind of like how Universal's trying this whole, we have dark horror monsters, and we're going to make this whole entire thing around it. That Mummy reboot, I don't know if you knew this, Grunt, but that Mummy reboot was supposed to be a start of a whole new dark monsters franchise where, think Marvel, but instead Dracula, Frankenstein, the Mummy, all of them in a coexisting universe.
How? Huh.
Yeah, so that's what it was supposed to be.
How does that work exactly?
Well, I think it was going to be something. Honestly, having not seen the movie, I don't truly know how they were going to tie it in. I think there was like a post-credit scene, just like at the end of Iron Man, where it was like S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Avengers. Oh my God, we're starting something huge. Except they're just literally cashing in on all the IPs they have just to try and tie them all together through magic or something. Who knows? But it's essentially trying to replicate Marvel's success and not actually understanding why it succeeded. Mainly being good storytelling. But just, I don't know. I wanted to bring it up because it just is. It baffles me that I could be just speaking without thinking here, but I feel like they're just not going to get anything right, and it's going to be terrible. And especially if Zack Snyder keeps helming this crap. Watchmen was amazing. 300 was pretty good, but he needs to stop. He's doing very bad at this. And I've tied up my fucking headphones here. Okay, there we go. We're good.
Don't let Zack Snyder become the U ball of modern day.
No, please don't.
Oh God, don't mention that name.
Oh my God. If you see me scratching my eyes a little more normal, I have contacts in for the first time in my life. I just started wearing them yesterday, so forgive my eye scraping red eyes. Black Dragon. So we're gonna go to the next article, which is about Half-Life. This is
Half-Life 2 confirmed.
Kinda. It confirmed that it probably existed at one point. Half-Life Episode 3 or Half-Life 3, whatever it is. Essentially, an ex-Valve writer by the name of Mark Laidlaw gives Half-Life 2 closure by releasing the script of Half-Life 2 Episode 3, which I suppose was the closest thing to Half-Life 3 we were going to get. But for some reason, Valve not being able... What?
That's as close as we're going to get with anything relating to Valve and 3 in the same sentence.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is Valve, for some reason, doesn't like to count to 3, and it's almost as if they just scrapped something because 3 was in it.
2, 4.
Yeah, that's how they made Left 4 Dead. You didn't know that?
Yeah, it's...
Well, yeah, there's no thumb, so...
technically like that, because...
Yeah. Yes, Brock, that was a good Yu-Gi-Oh! Reference. I'm glad you caught that. Grunt didn't catch it, and it's okay. Freak Show will get it. I know he's listening to this at some point. He will have gotten that reference, and he'll be mad at me, and he'll tell me.
I don't Yu-Gi-Oh, man.
Red Eyes Black Dragon is a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
I thought that was a very specific reference, but...
Anyways, so yeah, this got posted. Now, I'm not going to read through it or anything. If I've actually never played Half-Life, besides the beginning of Half-Life 2. I think I played about an hour of it. So... I don't want to spoil anything or read through it and not understand what I'm reading at the same time. So you can go check this out. I think he posted on like GitHub or something. But interestingly enough, it does seem like Half-Life something 3 did exist at one point, and for some reason it got scrapped. So we don't know if it's truly Valve. Oh, I guess I could put on a tinfoil hat here.
Where's your tinfoil hat?
Where's my hat? It's like way down on the ground. I'm not going to reach over and grab it. New segment on the Frantic Talks podcast, tinfoil hat time.
I got this.
Yeah, get your hat on. Oh my God, are you? Yeah, there you go. That's about how I was wearing. Yeah, you got it. Okay, so the reason that Episode 3 of Half-Life 2 got canceled is because Valve seems to think that the number 3 is actually a sideways M, and that M means that if you rotated it again, it'd be almost like a B without the line down through it. And that means they'd go bankrupt because that's what it starts with a B. So they didn't make Half-Life Episode 3. Yep, that's why they can't count to 3.
Or anything with 3.
Yeah, none of their games have B's in them, now that I think about it. Holy shit, we might have discovered it. Portal, Left 4 Dead, Half-Life, episodes, none of them have B in it. Oh my God, we figured it out. Team Fortress didn't. Counter-Strike, Global Offensive does have a B. That's the only one, but they don't like the letter B. I think we figured it out.
They really don't.
Guys, we need to tell Gabe. No, we don't. We can't let him know we're on to him.
No.
All right. tinfoil hat segment over.
All right. That was a little insert that came with one of the commander decks, by the way.
Yeah, I could see the commander words on it. I don't know if everyone else could. Grunt's a lot bigger on my screen. So, all right, so that's that. And we have one more article to talk about. It's actually something we've talked about before, but it's nice to know that it's in the works, or at least talking. And that is Half-Life 3 is now... Microsoft is confirming that they are in talks with Sony about crossplay. And this short little article kind of mentions that they were already kind of talking about it due to them partnering on Minecraft. But it's good to know that they are still kind of talking about it and it's not dead in the water. Because it seemed like for the longest time there it would be, but the people holding back were Sony, not Microsoft, right? That was what we had learned, if I remember correctly.
Right.
So that's good to see, because I know that's something I definitely think we should have and I want, because I'm tired of... Well, at first it's just going to be matchmaking across platforms, meaning, if there's 500,000 people playing, but 250 on each console, it's technically less of a player pool to match with, but I do like that is basically going to be happening in the future. Rocket League already does it, and that's pretty nice because you jump into a game as fast as possible, but I think if it ever gets to the point where we can party up with people who are on a PC and a Xbox and a PlayStation, that'd be really nice, because all my friends are on PlayStation besides Grunt and Freak Show, and a few select others, but seriously, they're always playing the same games I am, but I don't have a PlayStation.
Same games, wrong console.
Basically. I mean, they're playing Rocket League and Destiny. Well, Destiny's not true. I only have one or two that are actually playing the Destiny games. But they're definitely playing Rocket League all the damn time. Anytime I go over to their house, they're playing fucking Rocket League, and I'm like, I want to play with you guys right now. Interestingly enough, their setup consists of 2 different TVs next to each other, and they play Rocket League side by side instead of on split screen, so that's pretty funny. And cool at the same time.
That's amazing.
But hopefully we get to that point. That would be really nice. I don't know the logistics and how stubborn each party is being in regards to this. I feel like they know they need to start bridging the gap, or else they'll lose everybody, I guess. Either way, I'm happy this is still in the talks, is the best way to put it.
Oh yeah, I definitely am. I understand, the reasonings that some people haven't done it yet, I suppose. There's plenty of legitimate ones out there, but it's if Microsoft can work things out with Nintendo to have crossplay for games like Minecraft, and Rocket League themselves can do it for, PlayStation, PC, and Xbox and PC, so why can't we just have everyone on board the cross-platform hype train now?
Absolutely. And I'm going to take this browser off really quick so I can pull up one extra thing. Keep talking, Grunt, if you want to.
I mean, I don't really have anything to say, but I guess I can
fill the void. Either way.
Are we done talking about cross-platform play?
Well, now we're going to be talking about, it's on screen, the special edition Minecraft Xbox One S.
Oh, yes.
The Xbox controller is a creeper. It's actually really cool. This was suggested by Brock in the chat, and I was like, we can bring that up real quick.
Oh, don't. Controller's going to blow up in your hand.
I know, right?
Don't do it. It's like Samsung Galaxy phone waiting to happen.
Oh god, that would be terrible.
It would be. I would never want to play with a controller again.
Well, you can now pre-order this, apparently. This article was posted on the 20th of August. But anyways, it looks interesting.
Now, is it
4K?
Does it run Crysis at 60 frames per second at max settings?
Does it run Destiny, too, at 60 frames per second? Nope, only PCs do. I hope I made somebody mad with that. Yeah.
You made a lot of that, I guarantee it. I've seen discussions after discussion about it.
Yeah. Speaking of Destiny 2, there was a lot of stuff that came out this week. We aren't going to talk about it. We kind of want to avoid the spoilers for people listening if they don't want to hear it. But there was a lot of stuff, including about 90 minutes of the European Dead Zone, some other stuff in terms of... Well, if I start talking any further, I'll probably spoil it. So there's a lot of stuff. If you want to check that out, you can go to the Destiny subreddit and find all that information. I'd say it now because this is the last time you'll really hear from us live before Destiny 2 comes out. So, anyways, what were you going to say again?
If you want to stay spoiler-free but watch some content about what he just mentioned, like the European Dead Zone, there's a trailer for it on, I believe, the Destiny the game YouTube channel.
Okay.
So it doesn't contain too many spoilers. It just depends on how much you want to know about it. But I watched it, and it was pretty cool. I can't wait.
I honestly haven't watched any of that. I just know that some stuff that came from like screen caps of the gameplay. That's about all I know. So I've actually stayed pretty spoiler free.
Spoiler free.
But anyways, this Minecraft Special Edition Xbox One S has a terabyte of storage, and it will either be 300 to 350. Why it has a terabyte and not just an 8-bit storage is beyond me. But
Makes
either way,
sense.
it's not 8-bit. It's like, what, 32, 16, something like that? Whatever.
I have no idea.
But anyways, it basically is a 500 gigabyte and terabyte version, so that actually seems to be the difference of the 300 to 350. So anyways, that seems pretty cool for any Minecraft lovers out there. I haven't played Minecraft in a while, but I still think this would be kind of cool to have because it looks really crazy. I don't know. It's a grass block when you have it on its side, so it's got grass on the far left end, and then it's all dirt on the right.
That's amazing.
Like I said, the creeper controller.
All I'm having, though, is flashbacks to the first time I ever played Minecraft, and I created my own world to start with instead of doing the actual tutorial, and it's like, oh god, what am I doing? I have a very unique tunnel system in my original world that I got lost in several times.
I know my very first time I learned how to do like branch mining or something, and I ended up getting diamond and then made diamond pickaxes, and then made the mistake of carrying all of them on me. Like, I had 3 of them and fell in the lava and lost them. And I was like, no! Luckily, I found more diamond later, but I made that mistake. It's like, yeah, you'll fill up your entire inventory before you break 1 diamond pickaxe. And I was like, oh. Yeah, I wish I would have known that earlier.
Yeah, I had 3 of them, so whoops.
Well, yeah, now I don't have any. But anyways, alright, so that about does it for the stories we had today. Very slow week on news, but basically the reason is because of what you said. It was GameStop Con or something is happening. Gamescom. Why did I say GameStop Con? Fuck that. Gamescom is literally happening
Expo,
like right after this.
GameStop Expo actually kicks off Sunday, 27th.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna guess most of the news we would have heard is held in there. And so we didn't have too much to talk about today. We were looking for really dumb stories to talk about because those always provide great podcasts. But there weren't any dumb stories. There were some dumb tweets, but the stories weren't headlined that way, so I didn't want to use them.
I still love the fact that the NBA 2K18 cover is already wrong.
Yeah, if you didn't hear about this, the NBA 2K18 covers is Kyrie Irving, who was number 2 on the Cavaliers when they took the picture and made the cover. Now he's some other number for what, the Celtics?
The Celtics, yes. He went
So-
from Cleveland to Boston,
Yes.
just like the last week. So
Yep, so their cover's done. And if you're wondering if the Madden curse is going to ever hit Tom Brady, it didn't hit him, but it looks like his teammate Julian Edelman, their wide receiver, might be out for the season with a torn ACL. The MRI will confirm it later today. And if you're hearing this on Monday...
There's still time.
There's still time. If you're hearing this on Monday, they probably already confirmed whatever it is. But anyways, there's our sports news. Yeah.
We did. Now I turn it back to you at the weather station.
At the weather station. There's a hurricane in Texas right now.
Okay.
It's raining and windy.
It's raining sideways.
Back to you, Grunt.
Okay.
This has been Lance Catamaran. Love you, Freak Show. All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. If you didn't get that reference, it's okay. You can ask us on Twitter for links to that nonsense. All right, so let's wrap this up the normal way. If you guys want to give us any opinions on anything we discussed today, I know there wasn't too much controversially this week. You can hit us up on Twitter. It's going to be the easiest way to get a hold of us. I'm at FranticJ3. He is at Onyx Spartan, ONYX Spartan, all one word. And we are at Frantic_Talks. It is the official Frantic Talks Twitter account. That is where you can follow and get notifications about whenever we're going to go live, whenever we tweet out an article or podcast. All the good stuff's there. Also, as I'm burping out this Dr. Pepper I've been drinking, you can head over to twitch.tv/Frantic Talks, all one word, and join us live every Saturday, usually at 3 p.m. Eastern. Usually, like I said earlier, we're not going to be going live this next Saturday, but join us whenever we are. Just like Brock did today, you'll probably get a shout out. You can contribute to the conversation, maybe correct anything if we're wrong on something. Doesn't matter. Love to have you here. Also, you can head over to youtube.com, search for Frantic Talks, not all one word, but it'll still find it. Hit that subscribe button so you can get early access to all our archived video podcasts 2 days before they go live on audio form on Mondays. So every Saturday after we record on Twitch, we upload it. You can get it earlier than normal. You can also head over to facebook.com/Frantic Talks, all one word. Hit that like button like 135 others have, and you will get a more Facebook form of Twitter. Also, if you head to our Twitter account, you can find our Discord channel where you can join in and have conversations similar to you would on like Twitter, but you don't have to be limited to the character count. And you can also share cool pictures, do whatever you want in the channel. We got normal talk, magic talk, other nonsense. Or you can head over to franktalks.com, all one word, and find everything I just mentioned in the footer, along with all our articles, podcasts, and the like, along with links to our categories and magic.frantictalks.com, our magic website where we talk about all things magic. But hey, if all else fails, can't find us for some reason, 110 times out of 10, what can they do, Grunt?
Just type in Frantic Talks in your nearest search engine and you will find us. Guaranteed.
Guarantee it.
Or your virtual money back.
Or your virtual money back. All right, guys, that about does it for us. We will not be live next Saturday, although we will be uploading a podcast the following Monday, a quote-unquote archive cast. That will be a definitely very special episode of the Frantic Talks podcast. We have a special guest with us to talk about something very near and dear to us, and it'll be a great episode, I can only imagine. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. Please let us know any of your thoughts, feedback, and all that great stuff on Twitter, anything I mentioned earlier. Love to hear all of that. Unless you have anything else to add, Grunt?
Nope.
All right, that about does it for us, guys. Live every Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern on Twitch. Either way, we will see you guys next time. I am Frantic.
I'm Grunt.
And like I said, we'll see you next time.